A paradise in conflicts, the eastern coast of the Indian subcontinent is a blend of mythology, history and modernity. Stretching from the southern part of India, it extends up to the great Sundarbans. The state of Odisha, anciently known as Kalinga, ruled by the great emperor Ashoka, has a rich cultural and natural heritage. Once a flourishing trade center for the entire subcontinent, the sails used to flutter across the waters up till Java, Sumatra and Bali. As we head towards the coast, the region seems untouched and pristine. The peace in the air marks the beginning of the day as these boats wait to set off for another journey. 4 hours boat ride from a small rural town Gupti in Kendrapara district of Odisha takes you to a journey of this incredible life system called Bhitarkanika that still exhibits the planet as it was thousands of years ago. Located in the estuarine region, the fertile delta of Brahmani and Baitarani rivers, Bhitarkanika National Park is spread over an area of 672 square kilometers. This unique habitat of mangrove forest, crisscrossed with numerous creeks and mudflats, is home to diverse flora and fauna species. Bhitarkanika has a rich historical and cultural past. The mangrove forest preserves the remains of the 9th century temple of Lord Shiva, which is believed to protect the forest. Today, rangers and forest guards continuously patrol the area. Once ruled by the Kanika king, the forest used to be the hunting ground for the royal family. A trek into the forest that passes through a silted white lotus pond and remains of a collapsed shooting tower testifies their presence. Bhitarkanika boasts of more than 30 out of the 34 mangrove species found in India. This flora species has very well adapted to this saline environment with the help of their specialized root mechanism, also known as pneumatophores, that allows them to flourish in such harsh conditions. This mangrove forest provides a nursery to a variety of species. It protects them from intertidal flow and predators. This mangrove ecosystem acts as a natural guardian for the coastal region. They not only help clean the seawater that flows through their roots, but also protect the area from sea erosion by stabilizing the coastline. Today, this life-giving forest cover is fast depleting due to human interference. Rise in seawater level, building of ports and pollution being some of the major reasons. Once a hunting reserve, Bhitarkanika is now one of the largest crocodile sanctuary for housing more than 1600 giant saltwater crocodiles. The largest predator and highest in the food chain, the Indian saltwater crocodile, locally known as Kumbhira, dominates the waters of Bhitarkanika. Abundant food supply and undisturbed river banks provide safe breeding environment for the species, resulting an increase in their numbers. However, the national park itself is now threatened with the increased human interference in the periphery.
Crocodile is an indicator as the master predator of the habitat. If it is there, that means a large variety of animals are already existing in that area. Adult saltwater crocodile, they are territorial. They establish their territory. They are not colonial nesters. They need certain nesting materials to build a nest. So a particular area cannot accommodate many crocodiles. A female crocodile will need definite amount of soil, definite amount of nesting material for building a nest. So if the habitat is shrinking for some reason, then there will be definitely problem for such manifestation of the breeding behavior. Crocodiles are one of the most sensitive animals. It may be that they are living on this earth from the dinosaurs age, but whatever characters they have acquired, it is through thousands of years of evolution. They are not prepared to changes in the environment which is happening in 5-10 years or 10-15 years like that.
As we move along this ancient river system, one can see a number of villages scattered throughout the national park, where the recent settlers are struggling to coexist with nature. Standing on the edge of Bay of Bengal, Satabhaya is a surviving testimony to the catastrophic effect of climate change. The village has been displaced thrice in the last 4 decades. The ruins can still be seen partially submerged in waves. Satabhaya, once a cluster of 7 villages with now only 2 remaining, is a silent witness to nature's fury. With only 571 families, the village is now situated behind a monstrous sand dune that protects it from high waves and strong cyclonic winds. Seen from a distance, it looks like a normal village, but a closer look at the life of the residents clearly displays its unique problems. 150 kilometers from the state capital of Bhubaneswar, life is not the same in Satabhaya.
Satabhaya was once a cluster of 7 villages. The 1971 cyclone washed out 4 of them, leaving behind only 3. The village is situated inside the Bhitarkanika National Park, with raging sea on one side and forest on the other. We are constantly threatened by the fear of another disaster like that. Today, we have become encroachers in our own houses as the land belongs to the government.
With only kacha houses, the villagers have to reconstruct the roofs before the arrival of monsoon each year. The roofs are handmade by the whole family with dried leaves available locally. With no outsourced water supply, only a few hand pumps cater to the water needs of the village. But many years of saltwater logging has rendered the underground water, making it unsuitable for drinking. The unstable and violent behavior of the sea has severely affected the social and economic conditions in the region. Originally dependent on agriculture and fishing, the villagers no longer see these traditional occupations reliable. Apart from the scarce cultivable land, seasonal fishing in man-made ponds compensates for the constantly fading livelihood, forcing the villagers to leave their homeland in search for a stable source of income.
The crop that is most predominant in Odisha is rice, and paddy is very seriously impacted by salinity increases. Salty seawater moves into the coastal areas and there's saltwater intrusion, and the soil becomes more saline, which reduces the productivity of the soil. So given that the distribution of farmers is in Odisha is that such a large proportion of them are actually small and marginal farmers. They have small land sizes and limited resources at their end, so the impact is much higher on them.
Life becomes even harder during the monsoons when the villagers have to walk several kilometers of waterlogged fields to reach the closest connecting road. A small dinghy is the only available means to cross the Bonchgadi river that separates the village from the mainland. The river is also known to be dominated by saltwater crocodiles, posing a constant threat to the lives of the villagers crossing the river.
My mother was attacked by a crocodile when she was grazing the cattle near the farming canal. My sister called for help, but it was too late. Her dead body was found in a very bad condition. With little compensation, government has not provided much help. No steps have ever been taken to stop the crocodiles from entering this water body. Crocodiles can often be seen in this canal. You might find one right now, though the frequency has reduced, but the danger is always there.
My wife was taken away by the crocodile. She was 60 years old.
I have 3 children, 2 sons and a daughter. My youngest son was attacked by the crocodile last month. He was 14 years old and was studying in class 8. Crocodile attacked him when he was away with his friends to bathe in the river. Crocodiles usually come in this village, but it never harmed us. This was the first time when it attacked someone. The whole family is still trying to get over the tragedy. Although the government has provided the compensation, but nothing can bring back our son.
Since the history of mankind, the ritual of worshipping the powerful is practiced to avert the fury. With an increase in the number of croc attacks, the ancient custom of worshipping the crocodiles has again revived. Crocodile worship, locally known as Balunga Puja, is performed during Panchuka, the last 5 days of the Kartik month as per the Hindu calendar. Aesthetically decorated mud sculptures of crocodiles are sculpted in every locality. Girls make rangolis, colorful designs with rice flour, and offer the prayers every morning till the arrival of the full moon night. There are several mythological stories, but it's the fear within that forces the inhabitants to practice this ritual. It's not just the reptilian species that instills fear. Nature too has proven devastating for the inhabitants of Satabhaya. The 1200-year-old temple of goddess Panchubarahi provides the much-needed religious refuge from the nature's wrath.
The sea was more than 5 to 7 kilometers away from the village, but the sea level is gradually increasing and it has come very close to the temple. Government has been giving us assurances, but no action has been taken. We are now at the mercy of the goddess Panchubarahi. We have full faith that Ma will take care of all our problems.
Once placed at the center of the village, today the shrine of the local deity is left deserted to protect the village against the roaring waves. As sea level rise further up, the entire village is forced to move further inland each year. The topographical changes in the region were evident within the span of 1 year. Every few months, the dune seems to move forward, leaning onto the roofs, reaching the doorsteps of the mud houses. Since Satabhaya is located inside the Bhitarkanika National Park, the government is making efforts to relocate the village to a nearby area. However, the residents are reluctant to shift due to lack of resources to restore their lives from scratch.
In 2004, the Chief Minister visited the village and promised us new land to relocate ourselves in Magarkanda near the Bounshkadi river. But it was not a safe place for us. We were given assurance for a suitable place to relocate, but those promises were never fulfilled.
The future of the village is now at stake as the enormity of the sea erosion is alarming, to say the least. Going by the manner in which the waves are menacingly crawling towards the village, the next generation may soon find their ancestral village completely extinct.
After the construction of port at Paradeep in 1962, the erosion has increased in the region. The effect of an increased erosion can be easily seen even in the far-off villages. As economy is on the rise, everyone is focusing more on infrastructure development, but they are not understanding the disastrous after effects.
Being one of the largest and busiest ports in the country, Paradeep serves as the hub for iron ore, coal and fish export industry. Trawlers and other port activities not only pose a threat to marine life, but at the same time has much larger implications in terms of geological interference. This colossal man-made structure adversely affects the natural flow of sand along the shores. Geologically known as littoral drift, this natural movement of sand is responsible for beach formation. Each year, an estimate of nearly 500,000 cubic meters of sand is moved along the Indian coast. Ports and their sea walls along the coast obstruct this natural flow of sand, leading to sedimentation on the south side of the construction, while the water current continues to take away sand, resulting in acute erosion on the other side. With many more ports coming up in the area, the coastal communities will soon be deprived of thousands of acres of agricultural and residential land. The beaches of Odisha have the distinction of being one of the prominent nesting sites for the rare olive ridley turtles. With the beginning of mating season, the heads can be seen popping out of water looking for their mates. With a gestation period of 60 to 65 days, the turtles start visiting the shores depending on the lunar cycle and the weather conditions. The mass nesting, also known as aribada, begins early in the morning. By the sunrise, the beaches are flooded with thousands of turtles flapping their fins to dig their nests, splashing all over the beach. A female turtle lays an average of 120 eggs, knowing that only a few will get a chance to ride the waves. A large number of eggs are either feasted away by the local predators or washed away with the waves. After laying the eggs, turtles carefully cover their nests with sand, leaving the young ones on their own, only to revisit next year.
About 2.5 lakh turtles used to visit the shores of Odisha to lay the eggs every year. Their numbers have been decreasing in the recent years. The main reason behind this is the washing away of the beaches due to erosion. There is not enough space available for so many turtles to nest. The 6 to 7 layers thick sea wall at Gopalpur port, which is just 15 kilometers from this place, causes sedimentation on the south side by obstructing the flow of sand, while the north side, which is also the nesting site for the turtles, gets eroded. In the coming next few years, the turtles will stop coming here, as the nesting beaches will be completely lost due to erosion.
Podampeta, a small fisherman village, is another example of the adverse effects of ports in the area. Nearly 350 kilometers from Satabhaya, the village is helplessly standing on the verge of extinction. At sunrise, the vast golden beaches get crowded with boats as the fishermen set off for the deep sea, while others prepare for the afternoon business hours. An year ago, the residents were busy with their daily routine, not anticipating the danger that was to strike in the coming months. Each year, with the advent of the monsoon, the shores are swiftly drifted away by the waves, as the rising sea level poses a continuous threat to this coastal village. As the waves wash away the array of mud houses, the villagers try helplessly to gather whatever is left to continue their struggle for survival. Left with no other resource, they are compelled to sell off their only source of livelihood, the fishing net, to buy a meal for a day or two.
Podampeta is now being washed away by the sea. It slowly entered our houses and took away everything we had. The government promised us food, clothes and medication. They assured us that the relief material will reach us shortly, but nothing has come so far. We are a fishing community and that is the only livelihood that we have. We are not educated enough to do any other work. With such kind of devastation, we are forced to gradually quit our only occupation and sell off our fishing boats to support our family.
Once beaming with life, the village in no time transformed into a pile of debris. As Podampeta submerge in the depths of the sea, the remaining villages along the coast stand still, waiting for their inevitable fate. Temporary embankments built by the authorities serve as the only barrier between the villages and the sea. Made of sandbags and wooden logs, this protective shield proves no good to defend them against the storming waves. Few remains of the previous embankment can be seen submerged in the sea, while the others have completely disappeared. At present, the third layer of embankment is dangerously close to the advancing sea.
I have been living here since 45 years. Sea used to be very far away, but gradually with time it has come very close to the village. In spite of all the assurances, nothing has been done by the government. Presently this temporary embankment has been built for the safety of the village, but it is not a long-term solution. As the villages are getting destroyed, our future is doubtful.
Ironically, with their negligible carbon footprint, the coastal communities are forced to face the wrath of rapid urban industrialization. In spite of the efforts from the government, nothing much has been done, and nothing much can be done for the safety of these villages that have been residing along the shores for centuries. Standing on the verge of land and the ocean, this may only be an end of our journey. But what we witness in front of us is a live testimony to the desperate lives of people who must continue to live here. As much as the ocean has washed away the land beneath, a rich cultural heritage has sunken into the waters of time. Even though as a standalone seashore on the map of this world, the coast of Odisha looks minuscule, its suffering shore are a global climatic red herring for us to worry about.